dynamics, a big one. Bombs, planes, and missiles. That's what these people do. Do you think that their motivation is peace? Or do you think their motivation is war and let's keep cranking this stuff out because we've got to get more contracts? That's the system. Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, Boeing, and of course, this is where Booz Allen Hamilton, Edward Snowden, he came out of, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later, was Booz. Booz goes way back. This, in the military-industrial complex, $1 trillion with a T, annual spending for defense-related purposes. And guess who the biggest arms dealer in the world is? Us, the United States government. I wish I could say I used to be involved in that, but I can't. $46 billion a year in foreign arms sales to governments like Pakistan that hate us, and Saudi Arabia, whose basic doctrine is the elimination of the West. And we're giving this kind of money to these people. Now, I want you to look at these congressmen and senators. These military-industrial contractors give an average of $700,000 a year in contributions to these congressmen and senators' re-election campaigns and their leadership PACs, political action committees. $700,000 a year come out of these companies into these congressmen and senators. One of the most prominent ones is this fellow, John McCain. Personally, humbly, I call him the shadow senator. He is so deeply tied into the shadow government, the deep state, it's almost nauseating. He gets $694,508 a year into his pocket for supporting war, arms, bullets, and bombs, and the military-industrial complex. War's big business for old John. That's why we saw his picture with Al-Qaeda members over in Syria, smiling. And it turns out one of them was Al-Qaeda and the other was an ISIS leader. That's what happens when you get into greed and power without even knowing it. Maybe you wind up with the wrong crowd. So, can you see where the influence is on our elected officials? This is just one fragment of the iceberg here. They tell us one thing,